Okay, so we've made it to the final piece of the application. Once again, Ryan Eller, the MISS Program Coordinator here at Cal State Monterey Bay, walking us through the Instructional Science and Technology application for the graduate program here. And so we're to the final section, the program materials section. So if you click here, you will see that there is once again, a reference to which of the two programs you're applying to. And so you'll just go ahead and click that. And then it will have 3 sub-pages here. These are all clickable: the home page, the documents page, and the questions page. So the home page will detail basically a little information about our program, what's required to apply. So briefly, I'll walk through these with you. That would be an updated, up-to-date resume that really gives us an idea of kind of where you're at in your career, where you're at with your studies, if you're somebody with less work experience. You would be able to upload 2 letters of recommendation if you have them on hand. If you don't, a great option here is to go ahead and just fill out a Microsoft Word document that gives us contact information of name, email, phone number, so that I can contact your recommenders for you. Then from there, unofficial copies of your transcripts. That's all we need at the program levels, just to basically get a good idea of where you were at as a student. Obviously, official copies will need to be sent to the university directly. And then from there, your statement of purpose detailing why you want to be in the MISS program, what type of skills you bring to the MISS program, what you're looking to learn, where you plan on going in your career. Those types of things are what we're looking for in the statement of purpose. And keep in mind here that this is also your writing sample. So we're using this to get an understanding of your writing skills. Since you're a graduate student, there will be ample writing assignments. And so we want to make sure that your writing is up to the graduate level. Okay. So for international students, there's a few additional things that you would need to include. Most specifically, your foreign credit evaluation report, and this would need to come from a NACES accredited institution. So if you search NACES in Google, you should be able to find a member list of all NACES accredited institutions. The 2 I recommend would be either WES, World Education Services, with their ICAP service. If you send your documents to WES and select that service, they will send back a foreign credit evaluation and your original documents to us, so you will meet all of your admission requirements minus the English proficiency, proof of English proficiency. So that's a beautiful option for those with foreign documents. And that's true also for domestic students who have foreign documents. And then naturally underneath that, the English language proficiency test, if necessary, would also be included in this. Information that I don't necessarily want or need would be your copy of passport, financial affidavit, and bank statements. These are more for international admissions, and I would recommend sending those documents to them directly. Really, by and large, I would limit this information on the internet to the best of your ability. So I would send this directly to them versus uploading it on your application. Okay. And then naturally, if you are an international student and you have questions that I can't answer, a great set of folks to get in contact with is international admissions at csumb.edu. And they're very quick to respond and provide feedback as needed. Okay. So from there, this also lays out, some of the program details. This is obviously naturally a program that starts in the fall. The hybrid program is considered a face-to-face program, even though it has limited face-to-face requirements. And then it lets you know some other basic things like, you're applying for the 2020 academic year, when the deadline is, so on and so forth. Okay, and the final deadline for our program is May 31st, should we not fill sooner. And many times we do fill right around the March timeframe. So we do really recommend folks to apply by December 15th, that priority deadline, to increase their chances. If you meet university requirements and you have a good understanding of what MIST is, you'll generally have a very good chance at being admitted to either the online or blended program, should you really meet those 2 kind of major qualifiers. Whereas as we get further on down the road, that's where the competition really stiffens up for whatever remaining seats are available. And we will not admit more than 25 students into either program to keep our program relatively small. Okay. So that's kind of the information that's laid out there on the homepage. The next little tab here, over the Documents tab, very straightforward. It provides some of the information that I just stated. So if you want to, you can read about what the documents are and what you would need to include. And then from there, you can see the different types of accepted file types. And things that you would maybe not want to share. So they say conceal your social security number. I would say conceal anything critical, private information. Either don't include it or black it out. Find a way to not have that information here, because it's just all sorts of personal safety reasons why you would want that to be the case. Okay. So with that being stated, you're going to see there's a bunch of different categories here. It actually doesn't really matter what you select, other than you need to upload something in the CV resume section and something in the personal statement section, which makes the most sense given that these are the two things that you may not have previously reported on your application. Personally, with that in mind, you can include anything in any of these categories. It won't matter, because when you're including the document, that's what we're ultimately going to see. So with that in mind, what I usually recommend is, if you're uploading, for example, your letters of recommendation, you can just include them in the unofficial transcript area. Same thing, obviously, naturally, with your unofficial transcripts. But we've included tons of add document links so that you can include as many documents as you think are relevant to your admissions case within the categories that we recommend. Sometimes folks like to upload copies of academic awards in here. They like to, even though we don't necessarily require them, they like to upload certain test scores, or just about anything you can think of that's a document that you have on hand. Or sometimes people like to include more than 2 letters of recommendation, so they'll include multiple recommendation letters. Totally fine. That's why all of these are here, even though they have kind of a qualifying statement of, put bank statement here. If you put your letter of recommendation under bank statement, it would be fine. We're going to see the document. We're not going to see really what category it falls under, if that makes sense, which might seem a little weird, but at the end of the day, we're just going to see the document, not the category that it falls under. So that's an important distinction to keep in mind. Once you include 2 documents here, that's when you'll be able to submit this portion of it. I'm going to skip doing that just for the sake of time. And then what you're going to do is click the questions tab. Oh, excuse me, I hit the wrong button. Look at that. There you go. Click the questions tab here. And this is for everybody. Even if you are not an international student, you're going to have to enter your name below. It's just a weird thing with the application. So all you have to do here is just enter your name that you're, for those who it really applies to as international students. As an international student, I understand that I'll be automatically enrolled and required to pay for CSUMB health insurance. You'll just type your name in here. Even if you're a stateside, or excuse me, a domestic student, you're still just going to probably have to put your name here. It won't matter. We're not going to automatically enroll you in health insurance. So just keep that in mind. That's just a little downfall. The application doesn't work 100% correct there, but it's not going to really negatively affect you. This is information we'd have to verify anyways. Okay. So once you do that, you know what? Actually, I will add the documents just so that you can see what a completed application will ultimately look like. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 fake. These are just random documents on my computer. Okay, and you'll see you can literally add just about any document type that you can think of. Okay, so adding documents that I would normally be sharing with my undergraduate students in the classes that I teach them. But anyways, it gives me the ability to complete this application. But you can see, once again, so much space to put in documents. Really, the world is your oyster here. Okay, and then you could technically not fill this out if you're stateside, or domestic student, once again, excuse me there. But I'm just going to go ahead and do that anyway, so it just populates a little bit easier. So there you go. You'll see that now all 4 of my sections have green check marks, which means I can now submit the application. I am not going to submit it because I don't want to pay an application fee for an application I'm not truly submitting, but if you were, what you can see here is you would click the submit application. And if you're applying to multiple universities and they're all complete, you can click the submit all. But if you're just applying to one institution, you would just click the submit button under there. And then what you'll see is that you will be able to pay for your application here. If you have a coupon code, you could apply it. That's probably not going to be relevant in anybody's case. There's 2 options of paying: a credit card or a PayPal. Both work equally well. Both update the university in the same amount of time, so there's no advantage here in terms of selecting between the 2. And then you'll also select a permanent billing address. I will stop here, naturally, because I am not paying, but this is all self-explanatory. If you've ever bought anything online, this will be very easy for you to understand and do the next steps. The thing to keep in mind is when you do get the receipt of it, good to keep on the back end just in case for whatever reason things act weird here. That way you can always just send it to us, and if something did go wrong and it was saying that the next time you log back in, hey, you need to pay again, but you've already completed it, this is where we could send you a coupon code so that you're not being charged twice for the same application, if that makes sense. So do keep a copy of your receipt, which will be sent to you by email. And really, that's the application as a whole. So if you have questions, further questions about the application, don't hesitate, once again, to contact us at miss@csumb.edu or at my personal email, RELLER, so RELLER at csumb.edu. Or you can contact us by phone at 831-582-4790. And of course, our website is always a great resource, csumb.edu/miss. So we wish you all the best in your application, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care.